So hi there and welcome to this Starseed Guidance webinar. It's lovely to have you join us this evening or in the day, whatever time zone you're in at the moment. So just to tell you what's going to happen in the webinar, we're expecting it to last about an hour and a half. The first 30 minutes, Sharon and I are going to introduce ourselves to you, and we are going to talk through what a starseed is, some common problems that starseeds encounter and solutions, and Sharon's going to also link crystals to help him with those particular problems. That will take about a half an hour, we think, and then we're going to do a half-hour meditation. So it's important that you make sure for that you're in a place where you won't be disturbed, that you can get yourself into a nice relaxed position. After the meditation, we're going to talk through the crystal set that Sharon's put together and how you can purchase it if you want to. A great offer we've got on with that. And then we're going to talk about our webinars that we're planning going forward and how you can join in with those. So it's going to last about an hour and a half. And we're going to have people on mute during the webinar just because we're recording this for other people to watch. But any questions that you have, you should be able to type them into the chat box. We'll try and answer them as we go through. But at the end, we're happy to take you off mute and also have a conversation and answer any questions that haven't been answered. So let's introduce ourselves, shall we, to you? Moving on to the next slide. Now, before I start, if the Zoom panel's blocking any information on your screen, you can move that around by getting your white arrow and clicking at the top of the Zoom panel and just moving it to a better place so you can see the screen. I'm just doing that now for this recording. Okay, so we'll start with myself. I'm sure most of you know who I am, but my name's Rebecca and I run Libra Lights. I call myself a spiritual alchemist because if you're not familiar with my story, you can go to my website, libralight.net. My past is full of a bit of drama, and I feel like I use my experience to transform my life, but to transform those of my clients too. So I do that through one-to-one sessions. And again, you can go to my website to find out more about that, and through these webinars. And I particularly love working with people who, like me, about a year ago, woke up and thought, I'm not happy with my life. Where do I go now? What do I do? I love working with people at that stage. And I'll hand you over to Sharon to introduce herself.
Hi, so I'm Sharon, and I started my spiritual journey just at the beginning of 2020. So it was just before lockdown. And I was at a place in my life where I didn't know what I was looking for. I was looking for something more, kind of wasn't happy with my environment where I was living. And I just knew mentally I had to make some changes. And I discovered Reiki, and then I loved Reiki, quickly became a Reiki master. And then I certified as a crystal energy guide with Kyle Gray. I even certified as angel tarot reader, but that's just something I do now with family and friends. And I'm a mum of 3, and it was just felt really important to me to help other people. Like I found my light, and to help other people find theirs and to shine their light. And as corny as it sounds, to just create that ripple effect in the universe. And I think at a time like this is just so important. So yeah, I'm just loving learning, or I should probably say remembering what is already within me, within my soul, and helping others to do the same, and enjoy doing distance Reiki healing just to help people kind of open up and realize their own potentials. So yeah, that's me.
I was just thinking how we met, Sharon. I think it was on Instagram, wasn't it? We've never met in person, have we?
Yeah.
We've had this great relationship since, I think, a friend of mine on Instagram did an IG live with you, and that's the first time that I heard about you and your crystals, and we've just had this connection since then, haven't we?
yeah, you bought some crystals from me, and then you asked me to do a little session in a course, and I was like, oh my God, can I do this?
That was it, yes.
And that's it. We took it from there. It was amazing.
Just one of those connections.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, for those of you who are not familiar with the starseed concept, I just thought it would be good to explain it. I'm sure some of you are fully aware of what a starseed is and know that you are one. So what is a starseed? Well, to me, it's a being that comes from the cosmos who's chosen to incarnate to Earth. So often it's a difficult concept to get your head around. So me as a starseed, Earth's not my main place of residence. I've come from the cosmos, and I've been all over the cosmos and had thousands, if not millions, of lives up there. And I've chosen to come to Earth for a special mission. And it's taken me about a couple of years to kind of uncover and investigate all of that. What is the mission? You find that out as you go through your starseed journey. You may not be here for a mission. I've found that some starseeds just come here to experience life. So now when I wake up in the morning, I try not to think of myself as human Rebekah. I'm this soul that's been everywhere in the universe and is currently incarnating to Earth for a reason. So that's how I understand, that's how I explain what a starseed is. So hopefully, that will make sense to you. Once you find out that you are a starseed, you then want to work out, where have you been? Who's my star family? Which star race do I resonate with the most? Where was I last in the cosmos? And then you then want to uncover what are my gifts and skills as this soul, as this starseed, and why have I incarnated to Earth? So the minute you start to get into it, it's kind of the beginning of a big journey. And I'd call it a big awakening. So what we wanted to concentrate, and the reason that I've put this webinar on, is to help starseeds with the problems that they encounter on the planet today. And in order to get kind of the problems from you, I asked on my Instagram channel, what are your biggest problems as a starseed? So all of the things that I'm covering in this webinar have come from my clients or my Instagram followers. So the way we're going to work through this is I'm going to talk about what the problem is and how I deal with it. And then Sharon's going to tell you what crystal she thinks is the best one to help deal with that problem and why. So we're going to talk through 5 of the biggest problems really that starseeds encounter, and hopefully you'll relate to them. If you don't, feel free to put in the chat some problems that you may have, and we'll see if we can cover those as well. So the first kind of problem that came through was dealing with polarity as a starseed. Now, I asked my client when she said this to kind of clarify it, because polarity is so wide, it could mean so many things. So my client said it was feeling like she's living in this extreme time with so much hate and darkness. So we know we've got this war going on at the moment. We know we've just had this pandemic that's caused a lot of polarity. And it's dealing with having moments where we feel like we're in 5D, feeling euphoric, like we can dance in the street. That's how I explain when I feel in 5D, to then going to a complete drop in consciousness down to 3D. How do you cope with swinging between the two extremes is really what she wanted to talk about. So I agree. That is something that I struggle with, going from one extreme to another. There's not really an answer to this. All I can say is that that's part of the experience as a soul. When we chose to come to Earth, we knew that it was going to be difficult. And we've got to find a way of embracing this. This was a lesson we chose to learn in our soul contract. So when we are in between lives and we're choosing a next life and we choose a contract, we might say as a soul, I need to, in this life, experience polarity. And some of our lives might be a lot worse than others because we've chose to experience suffering. And we have to have all of these experiences as a starseed in order to learn all of our lessons and in order to learn as a soul, really, and become a complete soul. Because without one side of the polarity, you wouldn't experience the other. So if everything was hunky-dory all the time and everything was great and we didn't have any suffering, it wouldn't work. We need those two sides. And Sharon, you recommended tektite, didn't you, for this?
I did, because tektite technically is not a crystal. It's more of a mineral, because it's actually come from the universe. It's come from stars and the galaxies. It was a meteor that crashed into the earth, and like the impact of that crash, it basically nothing on earth could exist as it was before. Everything, it changed, the heat, the impact, the pressure, it changed everything that it came into contact with, and it created tektite. So the pieces that I have, like, they're tiny, but they're really powerful. Even when I put them out in the sun to charge, they got really hot, but they were very soothing. Like, the energy from them was like putting if you've ever had like a hot stone massage, and it was just so soothing on your skin. And tektite basically means tektos, which is a Greek word, and it means molten. So this is molten meteorite, and it's got the messages, and it's got the energy, and it's got all the wisdom from the stars, the galaxies, and the universe, and it's kind of brought that down to us here on Earth. So it's really good at helping with that polarity, because the impact of it really kind of grounded itself into the earth, but at the same time, it's got all that knowledge and the wisdom from the stars. And essentially, as Rebekah just said, we are from the stars. We are stardust. Our souls have incarnated from all these different star systems. So it really is a powerful crystal to just help you when you're dealing with polarity, to ground you back onto the earth and to remind you where you have come from, but now you are here, you've chosen to be here, and you are a human experiencing what there is on earth, and there are amazing magical things that happen as well. So it's just helping you to deal with that, and it helps to activate our higher chakras as well. So our higher chakras, we've got like 7 main chakras, and then we have the higher chakras like the soul star, the stellar gateway, and even below we have the earth star and the Gaia gateway chakra. So it really brings all that energy together and links us to the heaven and earth. And they're tiny, but really, really powerful. So really helpful if you're feeling overwhelmed or sensitive and you just feel like there's a lot going on. So it's a really good crystal to sit with, and it just gives you that peace. So it reminds you of where you've come from, that you're here and everything's okay.
And they're black, aren't they?
They are. They're really, really dark.
You hold one up to the screen.
Sorry, yeah. Can you see it?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, these are small ones. Like a similar crystal, which is a lot more popular, is moldavite. So that's another crystal that's also coming as a meteor as well. Moldavite is it's got kind of like a green. This is moldavite. This has kind of got a green.
Yeah, moldavite's the one that will completely knock you off your feet and change your life.
It does. Yeah. And tektite's a little bit more subtle than moldavite, but it also can be really overwhelming. So if you are really sensitive to energy, be a little bit careful about how often you use it. If you are very, very sensitive, you definitely will feel the energy of it. And it also helps to connect with the Akashic record. So that's something Rebekah is amazing at, and she can talk about later on, but it's definitely a crystal.
I didn't know that. Okay, right.
Yeah, you can hold and meditate. So if you want to enter your own Akashic record, which is, the Akashic records are basically the book of our whole soul and where we've been and where we've come from. Yeah, so it's a really amazing crystal to connect with your Akashic record. So just basically they help us in our own star power, to help us remember our possibilities, our limitless, and our power that we have, that we've come here with.
Brilliant. Okay. So problem number 2, connecting with star families. A few of you have trouble connecting with the star family, or you don't even know where to start. So, I mean, the main way that you can connect with them is through meditation. By, as I've just put there, relaxing, coming into your heart. You've got to make sure before you connect with your star family, because they're at such a high level of consciousness and vibration, that you're there as well. So don't go into doing this if you're angry, if you just had an argument with somebody. You've got to make sure you're in the right space to connect with them, making sure you're feeling really connected. And then you can either telepathically communicate with them through your mind, or speak to them out loud. And just ask them to show you messages, a bit in the way that you connect with your spirit guides. Can you either give me a message or show me a vision? And it might be something that's completely unique to you. So for me, when I say I'm Pleiadian, by the way, that's one of my blueprints. I'm not just Pleiadian, and you'll be the same. You'll have lots of different blueprints because you've been at lots of places in the universe. It's just Pleiades was the last place that I was, so I relate to it the most. And I've got 2 Pleiadian guides, the twin girls called Rosie and Daisy. Now I know when they're around because of the energy. It's like a childlike joy kind of energy. So I know when they're here. And mostly they come when it's to get me into that state, when I need a pickup, and they have just come in as well now. It's like 2 giggly, they're not young girls. They appear to me to be in their mid-20s, but they're very giggly and joyous. So it may be that when you're connecting with your star family, you start to recognize that it's a certain energy. That's how you know that they're there. So how do you recommend doing it then, Sharon? You've put shungite, Merkaba here for connecting.
So I chose shungite as this crystal because shungite is a very protective crystal. So like you said, you need to be in a good headspace, good heart space to connect with them. And this gives you that extra kind of level of reassurance and protection, because it is such an amazing crystal at removing negative energies. And it's like creating a shield around your aura to protect you. So there's a lot of negative ray, like EMFs, we get from the internet, from our phones, and from any electronic devices. So we're constantly bombarded. Our auras are always bombarded. So shungite is like a little shield for that. So it's actually a really amazing crystal to wear. So if you had a bracelet or a pendant or anything like that, it's a good crystal to keep by you, to keep by your phone. So I chose shungite so when you're traveling and you're going to meet your star family and you're doing a meditation like that, you want that extra feeling of safety, that you're grounded, that you're protected, and it just opens you up. It makes you that little bit lighter and opens you up that little bit more to really listen to those messages that they have, any guidance that they have. You can do these meditations yourself, and you can set an intention. So whether you want to ask a question and receive an answer, or you can just set the intention for them to tell you what you need to know. You can ask them anything if there's something you're planning on doing, and what do they think of it. And it really does work, and the insight really does come in. And this is actually shungite Merkaba, which is an ancient, sacred ancient shape. So we're going to talk about this a little bit more before we go into the meditation tonight. But this is basically a shape that you can visualize around yourself when you astral travel. And you know that you're in the shape. It's a shungite, so you're definitely feeling protected and grounded. Yeah, and it's really amazing at kind of keeping that connection with them.
Yeah, okay. Another way that you can use your star family is with asking them, when you've connected with them, is asking them to show you some of your cosmic lives as well that you've had with them, and see what they show you. Another reason why you might want to connect in with your star family is to say, I'm struggling on Earth. Could you give me some healing energy? There's lots of uses for connecting with that star family. Another great reason is, so I said that I'm Pleiadian, and you'll work out which one you relate to the most and where you've been. Sometimes we're disconnected from the energy of our star family. So Pleiadians have a certain energy, Syrians have a certain energy, Hadarians have a certain energy. And it's really important as a starseed that you're connected to that energy, you connect into it regularly, because of these heavy 3D densities on the Earth. So when you find out which star race you resonate with the most, it's really important that you do meditations and ask to be connected in. Like I'll say, can I be connected in with the Pleiadian energy, so you can feel your star family. I'm getting tingles now as I'm doing it. You can feel that energy coming in. You feel like you're back with your family, you're home, you're getting all the energies. It's really good for the polarity that we talked about earlier, for making you feel connected again. So uncovering all of these things has really wonderful effects for you in this life that you've incarnated into at the moment on Earth. So what's another problem? Not feeling on the right path and feeling out of alignment with your life. A lot of people tell me this when they come to me for the Akashic readings. What a lot of people don't realise, before you come into your full starseed existence and what your mission is and get cracking with it, is that unfortunately you've got to go through quite a bit of shadow work and a lot of healing, and maybe even a dark night of the soul. So you're probably sitting there thinking, I've done all that. That's brilliant. I've done it. And by the way, I'm not saying that your shadow work ever ends. Unfortunately, it doesn't. You'll forever be doing shadow work. But I think I've got through my dark night of the soul. I've done a lot of healing on myself, particularly ancestral healing, particularly karmic clearing of my past lives, where there's been traumatic past lives or vows of silence, celibacy, and poverty. Done a lot of clearing of that. And until you've done that, you might be feeling out of alignment and not on the right path. Because we have to clear all of this in order to see clearly and feel aligned. And when you do that, you can expect to all of a sudden feel like you're on the right path. You know what you're here for, you know what you're supposed to do, and that's it. I'm going to do it. It's an absolute great feeling. So if you are feeling not on the right path and out of alignment, I heavily recommend that you start digging deep down into your shadows. I'm laughing because it's horrible. And start doing your healing work, get some Reiki, do some inner child work, and get down that path. It's almost as if you've got to get through the trees. I'm trying to think of the correct way of saying it. Sometimes I'm rubbish at remembering how you say things, but you know when they say you can't see the forest for the trees, you've got to get through the thick, dense part of the forest before you can see clearly. That's how I want to explain it. And Sharon, you're saying the amazing crystal Super 7's good for this. Now I've got one of these and they are so powerful.
I love this crystal. It is 7 crystals in one. And the reason I've chosen this one is because it's the popular crystals in it: amethyst, clear quartz, smoky quartz, rutile quartz, and there's some other lesser known crystals. it literally aligns all your chakras. It's linked to every single chakra. It's linked to all 12 zodiac signs. So it's really, really good crystal to kind of bring you into alignment. And it's a good crystal to keep with you. Like you said, doing all that shadow work. And I remember, even, I don't know if I'd really started my spiritual journey, or I think it was near the beginning. It was like I was doing this work and I was doing this healing, and at the time I didn't even really know what it was called, or there was terms for it. And I remember always thinking to myself, there's light at the end of the tunnel, you know, things will improve. And I had got really supportive husbands. I used to say to him, like, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, it's happening, and we're going to be in a better place. And then it was just one day I woke up and I thought, wow, we're in the light. Like, how did that happen? And when did that happen? Like, what did we do? But it's like what Rebekah said, you're doing the healing, and you're doing inner child work and shadow work. And Super 7 is a really powerful crystal. So if you're at like the beginning of that journey and you're not really quite sure what to do and where you're going with it, and even if you're new to crystals are, you know, they've been in Mother Earth for thousands and thousands of years. They've been created. Super 7 comes from like one particular place in Brazil. And, you know, even if you say you have a piece of Super 7 and you can't see all the 7 crystals that are in there, you still know it has that energy of all those 7 crystals put together. So it's really good at helping you kind of connect with the vibration of a crystal. Every crystal has a crystal spirit that you can connect with, and you can hold, and you can speak to the spirit of the crystal, and you can ask the spirit of the crystal to, you know, when you go into meditation, to tell you what it needs to tell you. You always become the guardian of crystals that are meant to come to you, that you're meant to be with. So you'll always get the right one. And Super 7 is really good to help you find that purpose and find that alignment, because it is a really powerful one. And especially if you're new on this journey, it really does just like bring everything together. And you do wake up one day and you think, wow, like I've kind of come out of the dark night of the soul and I've done the work, and you do feel a real lightness, like you've awakened. But it takes baby steps, and it takes time. And, you know, sometimes you've got to have all that courage. You have to take a leap of faith. You have to, you know, be the leader of your own path and decide who, you know, what did you need when you were in that space, and just be that person for yourself. It's not easy, but having tools like crystals, like you're the magic, you've got all the magic within yourself, within your soul. But having crystals, they're an amazing tool at just reminding you of where you're at, what intentions you're setting, and the work that you're doing on yourself at that time. So yeah, it's a really, really good crystal to have. It's very powerful. So it's definitely a crystal that you want to kind of hold and experience and spend some time with. And I think it will give everybody a different experience. It's just what you need from it at the time to bring yourself into that alignment and to make you feel strong and purposeful.
I'm always fascinating because you never need to clean it, do you? Because the 7 crystals within it kind of clean each other. So you never need to put it in the sunlight or sage it. It gets rid of the negative energies itself. It's just like a wonder crystal. And I don't know why, but I think I'm being told to reiterate the point that don't think you just do your shadow work and have your one dark night of the soul and that's it. That you're still going to be doing that work. It will be less though. So I'm fully expected to have another dark night of the soul, maybe in a year, 2 years. It just won't be as intense as my first dark night of the soul. So we are definitely not saying that once you've done your healing, that's it, you're healed forever. I feel like I just need to
it's like a spiral, isn't it?
Yeah, we're not claiming you're going to be fully healed, unfortunately, but it will become less as you go through that journey. I think this is problem number 4. Yeah, problem number 4, managing collective energies. This is a really common one, because as Starseed, you'll be empaths and you'll be picking up on collective energies as well as individual energies. Collective energies are crazy at the moment. with, as I said earlier, we've just been through 2 years of pandemic and lockdowns, and then we have this war going on, threat of nuclear war, and the collective energy is just one big pot of fear. And some days you'll wake up and you'll think, what the hell is that I'm feeling? And it's the collective energies. So how can you deal with that? Because it isn't nice. So how can you deal with it? This one's all about perception. So I want you to change your perception of this. So I want you now to see this sensitivity you've got as an empath and having this amazing clairsentience quality and skill as a power that you've got, and that you're fully capable of managing it. So you can choose when you want to tune in and feel the collective energy, and you can choose when you want to cut off from it. So it's about seeing it as a power rather than something you're powerless over. So from today, I want you to change your perspective and recognize that you can do that. But that doesn't mean that you kind of bypass that feeling that you're feeling. You do need to feel it, because if we push it down, it's just going to bubble and bubble and bubble until one day you explode. You've got to feel the collective energy, but then you go, right, I'm cutting it off now because I need to get on with my day. I need to support my family and friends. I need to do some healing of myself. It's now time for me to cut off. So this is your new way of looking at it from today. I hope that helps. And Sharon, you're recommending the rainbow kyanite. Now I'm definitely getting one of these. I haven't got one. I just love the way it looks. Can you put it up to the camera?
Yeah.
Look at
Can you
that.
see it? I love this. It's so mesmerizing.
Yeah. You've got one for me put away, haven't you?
I have. I'm saving it for when you're back in the UK. So rainbow kyanite. Kyanite in general is a very powerful crystal. When I do distance Reiki healing, I actually use black kyanite for clearing negativity. And I mean, like the kind of negative energy that you've been holding on to for years and years and years, or it could even be from past lives. But it's I get kind of visions when I'm doing Reiki, so I see it as like this black sludge. So I use this like black kyanite, and I don't know where I got this term from, and I could have made it up, or I might have heard it from someone, but I call it psychic surgery. So when I'm doing Reiki for everybody, then I think to myself,
that's not made up at all. That's one of the skills that comes out in Akashic readings. I told a client that was one of her skills today. So it's not made up. Not made up.
I didn't make it up. I can't remember where I got it from. So I think to myself, does this person need psychic surgery? And then I use black kyanite as my tool to help me to visualize all of that kind of black and stagnant energy and the sludge and all the grayness that they are carrying within them to leave. And the feedback I always get, clients do feel lighter, and sometimes they don't know why. They don't really understand what's happened, but they do feel better. So it's just one of those energies that you've just kind of like maybe holding you down a little bit, but you maybe subconsciously you don't really know about it. So that's how powerful kyanite is. And even blue kyanite, so I've got my blue kyanite pendant on, is really good to help with like communication. You know, 2-3 years ago, I didn't think I'd be able to sit here on a Zoom call and be able to teach and share my knowledge and experiences. So it's really helped me with my throat chakra. So the rainbow kyanite is like all of those energies rolled into one, and it's gone through like an alchemizing process. So this isn't natural. It didn't grow like this. This has been through a process where heat and precious metals have been added to it. And when I first started my crystal journey, I didn't like the aura crystals, and I thought, oh no, I don't like those. They're not natural. They didn't come out of Mother Earth like that, and I stayed away from them. But then the more I learned and the more I experienced, because of the process that they've been through, it's like it's added extra qualities to it. So this is a really good crystal for removing those collective energies. So if you've got a selenite wand, which is, you know, really popular. I've got one here. So if you use the selenite one to like cleanse your aura, whether you do it in the morning, before you start your day, at the end of the day, it's like that. This is such a gentle, soothing energy. But when you're doing it with a rainbow kyanite, it's like it's clearing all that collective energy and reminding you of your starseed origins and your starseed family and your soul. That, you know, it just gives you that reminder that yes, you're on Earth, you're experiencing all this collective energy, but you are your own individual soul, and there's nothing wrong with taking time out and, you know, doing your own healing. You need to fill your own cup so that you can be of service and help to everybody else in your life, your friends, your family, everybody that needs you. So yeah, I love this rainbow kyanite, and I think it's a really, really powerful energy, and it's really does make you kind of feel limitless. So the way Rebekah said, it's like we need to change our perspective of it. So we need to realize that actually we are powerful, and because we're so powerful, which is why we're feeling all these collective energies. So I think rainbow really kind of harnesses that powerful, limitless energy that all souls hold within us. Yeah, and I love it. I love the colors. Sorry, I've seen some chats. I don't know if there's
Tinks is
questions.
asking, is the rainbow kyanite very different from the titanium aura quartz?
Yeah, in a way, for titanium aura quartz, I like that to connect to the starseed family and that feelings of the love and the magic and the galactic energies. With the rainbow kyanite, I feel like it's actually clearing away the negativity of the collective. Whereas with the titanium aura, I don't feel like it does. It clears it. It's there and it's very loving and it's a really good energy to have. But this is more like a wand. So it's like you can brush over your aura. So that's, for me,
like
that's the difference between them.
Cutting the cords with it. I think you've put on the slide there to the right.
Yeah.
Cutting the cords of the negative collective energy. Yeah. We use titanium aura quartz in my Starseed course. And I felt with that, I mean, we all had it under our pillows at night, because then we had dreams where we astral traveled to our star family and unlocked memories of our starseed life. So I feel like, as Sharon said, titanium aura quartz is about unlocking memories.
Yeah, I had it under my pillow that whole time.
Yeah.
And I panicked when I lost it, but I did find it again.
Okay, so last problem, and then we'll get on to the meditation. It's about right, yeah. The hardest thing is watching those I desperately love being comfortably asleep and struggling so much right now. It's heartbreaking. Yeah, this is a big one, especially when it's family or children. It's totally heartbreaking. And unfortunately, they've got to go through it, which doesn't really help, does it? But they have got to go through it. And it's about accepting that everybody has to go through a process before they awake and realize their starseed existence, before they awake and realize they're a powerful being, before they awake and undo all of these programs that they've had put into them by the Matrix. Because if we try and wake them up before they're ready, it could have disastrous consequences. Now, I only fully woke up to all of this probably about 2 years ago, just about when the pandemic was started and the lockdown happened. I was learning spiritual things from 2013, and I was doing tarot, and I believed in lives before this one and lives after this one, but it was all very earth-based for me. I didn't even think about starseed existence and lives beyond the cosmos. And I was thinking about this, if somebody had tried to wake me up before I was ready, it might have ruined timelines. I might have tried to start Libra Light 5 years ago before I'd had some life experiences that I needed to experience in, you know, like my husband had a brain bleed, I lost my pet, there was a trauma with my sister. if I'd have tried to maybe start my business before that, my business might have failed. It might not be as successful as it's been now. People have got to go through the process. They've got to have these experiences. Unfortunately, some people do have to suffer in order to then be ready to have their eyes opened to what's going on. So it's a tough one. There's not much comfort in that message, I know. We've just got to be there for them, for a shoulder to cry on, to listen to them, to plant seeds, and then it will be a wonderful day, won't it, when they do actually become aware of all of this. So Sharon, you're recommending, how do you pronounce that? Is it Fushite?
Fushite, yeah. Well, that's what I'm calling it, but I'm hoping that's right. So Fushite is, as you were, put it up on the screen, it's a green crystal. So green crystals in general are related to our heart chakra. And with a problem like this, it's just, you need to accept, like you said, everybody's on their own journey, everyone's on their own path. Some people may not ever wake up in this lifetime. They might not be, they're here for other things. They might not ever wake up. And that's okay. That's their journey and that's their process. So I had to pick a green crystal for this because it's all about expanding our own hearts. And Fuchsia is, I mean, I don't know, hopefully you can see it's so shimmery and shiny and sparkly. And it's like that heart chakra, that, and bringing in that galactic energy into our heart. So like when I do Reiki and I do heart healing, so, you know, we heal the heart, we align it, we balance it. And then also we have an inner heart. So it's, if you can imagine it like a rose, and then it opens up, and then you have the inner heart, and that, like, the bit right in the middle is your higher heart. So Fuchsia really helps to activate that higher heart within us. And that's when we have an open heart and we shine our light, we let people see the true person that we are. When they are ready in their journey to wake up, and, you know, they will see that light. So if we are holding our light and, you know, keeping our heart open, when they're ready, they will see it. So it's really, really good at just activating that higher heart, and it helps also to cleanse. And we might need healing. We still need, like we said, it's an ongoing process. We're humans. We're going to experience anything that's sad. We're going to experience trauma to our heart, whether it's like physically and emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So this is like a really powerful crystal to do for keeping your heart strong. You know, shamans actually say that your heart is stronger than your mind. So when they bring up their children, they actually teach them to think with their heart before they're teaching them how to think with their mind, and, you know, learning how to count and, you know, doing their alphabet. They are very much about heart-centered living. And Fuchsia just brings all of that energy into our heart, and it lets us activate that heart chakra. So when we are feeling balanced in our heart and our heart is open, you know, we're more likely to experience those feelings of joy, compassion, kindness, fun, laughter, and forgiveness. So when we're open to all of those feelings, then we can share those feelings with everybody else around us. So even though it is hard to watch other people that are not at the same stage on their journey that you are, but just to know within your higher heart that when they're ready, they'll be there too, is just like holding that space. So Fuchsia is a really, really powerful heart chakra crystal, and like the heart is one of the main our energy portals. So we get a lot of love in, and when it's full, we can give a lot of love out. So yeah, I love it.
Okay, brilliant. Well, that's the end of our Starseed problems and solutions, and I hope you found that helpful. You'll get all of this in a PDF in an email after this webinar, as well as the recording of the webinar, so you can, if you've forgotten anything that we've mentioned, then you can go back to that. So if you've got those crystals, that's great. If you haven't, Sharon's put a Starseed crystal set together, which we're going to talk about after the meditation. We're going to talk about an amazing offer that we've got on that. And then we're going to tell you about our next webinar coming up in April and what's in that. So now we're going to move on to the meditation. Glad you found that insightful, Jasleen. Thank you. Before we do, I just want to tell you what a Merkaba is and who Commander Ashtar is, because that's going to make an appearance in the meditation. You might be thinking, what the hell is a Merkaba? Well, it looks just like this. So we've all got this energetic field around us, but often we're not aware of it and we've not activated it. So we're going to activate it in this meditation. It's exactly that shape. It's two pyramids that come down together to form a star. And then often we can make it as big as our bodies, and it starts to rotate. The top rotates a different direction to the bottom, and it starts to rotate. We can use it as protection. A lot of people who do Reiki activate the Merkaba before they go in to do the Reiki to protect themselves. Or you can use it for astral traveling, which is what we're going to do today. We're going to astral travel up into space. Exciting. Now, there are many different ways to activate your Merkaba. There's simple ways, which we're going to do in this meditation. But if you wanted to explore this further, go onto YouTube. There's actually an 8-hour activation you can do on YouTube if you wanted to, using different mudras to activate the Merkaba. You can go down a rabbit hole with it. It's fascinating. But today we're just going to go into our heart space to activate it. Who's Commander Ashtar? He's a cosmic being. He is in the Galactic Council. He's quite high up. And he's from Venus. He works with the Great Central Sun. He came to me in my Starseed course, so I channeled him each week for the people that were on my Starseed course, and I couldn't believe that he was coming through with special messages for himself. Type of energy has got quite strict, but very loving, with being from the planet Venus. So he's not going to come through in the meditation today to speak, but we're going to go up to one of his ships. So I just wanted to make you aware of who Commander Ashtar was. So get yourself ready for this meditation. What I'm going to do is play some background music. If you want to, you can turn your camera off if it makes you more comfortable. I'm going to play some relaxing background music now. So I'm just going to reduce this. Turn your phones off. I'll share my screen again. It's going to be about 30 minutes. We're going to go deep. This is a deep one. If you've never meditated before, don't worry, it's guided. I'm going to guide through it with my voice. Now, I'm going to play this music. Sharon's going to tell me if I talk over it that the volume's okay. Can you hear my voice okay, Sharon? And
yeah.
It's a bit loud, that, isn't it?
It's a tiny bit loud, yeah.
Anybody else is struggling with volume, just put it in the chat. You can lie down. Yeah, no problem. You may not wake up at the end of it though. That's fine. So is that okay? Can you hear my voice?
Yeah.
Still a bit loud, do you think?
It's okay. Tiny bit loud.
Right, come on, let's have it down a bit more.
We don't want you to have to shout.
Gonna leave it there. Okay, so let me have a drink of water. Just start getting yourself into a relaxed position. And by the way, you're going to get this meditation as a separate recording. I have recorded it with my brother. I've edited it as a YouTube clip. So if you want to repeat this meditation, you haven't got to come back into the webinar recording. I'm going to send you a link to a YouTube clip. You'll be able to play it whenever you want to do this. Quite a good meditation. But getting yourself into a relaxed position now. Starting to slow your breathing down. So feeling your body relax, feeling your shoulders coming down. Feeling your tongue come down from the roof of your mouth. Feeling your jaw relax. Feeling your mind slowing down. Thoughts becoming less. Coming into a meditative state. Calling in your spiritual team now. So who's coming in for you? This could be from the Fae realm, from the Dragon realm, maybe your star family, any cosmic guides, archangels, ascended masters. Just have a look, spirit animals, who's coming in, bringing you protection during this meditation and just supporting you as you go on this journey. I want you now to let light, love, wisdom, harmony come into your heart. And if it helps, put your hands on your heart, feeling that all coming in. Once you feel that come in, you're going to extend that out 6 feet all around you. Feel this raising your frequency now. You can feel it getting higher. Amplifying this intention through the crystal grid into Mother Gaia. Sending your intention now down into that beautiful crystal grid in Mother Gaia. Invoking the universal Christ light into our root center at the bottom of your spine, into your base chakra. Christ light into that root and sending that into the center of Earth. And feeling this golden white Christ light now merging with blessed Gaia. And we're anchoring this into the very center of Earth. And as we do this, our beautiful, luminous Merkaba starts to activate. So imagine this as a star shape with the top and the bottom parts starting to slowly spin in different directions. And it's getting larger now and covering your whole body. And this Merkaba is now accelerating in its rotation until it turns into a luminous white light. And it's expanding until it covers your whole entire body. And in walks Archangel Metatron. And he's now activating these 8 points of the Merkaba and linking them to your 8 chakras. So visualize this spinning, luminous Merkaba spinning now and starting to lift you off the ground, moving higher, up, higher into the sky, higher into the atmosphere, into space, into the vast silence of space, up past the great central sun. And there's now an infinite loop of light, love, and peace between your higher self and your human existence. So we're in space now. But just off to your right, you can see a ship. Have a look at the shape of it, the size. And slowly, you start to move towards your Merkaba. As you move toward it, the door opens. You just float on in there in your Merkaba. You may feel an excitement. You know you've been here before. You may be remembering when you came before, what you did. We move off to the left of the ship and start walking down a corridor, seeing all the different spaces and all the different rooms. The technology you see on this craft is like nothing you've seen before. We're now coming into the central section of the ship. You're looking around, you're exploring. You can see the crew. Commander Ashtar's crew, all doing their service jobs, fulfilling their heart's desire. Feel free to touch the different materials you can see. Ask the crew questions. Take in the energy of this vessel. And now, time for us to go into the clearing chamber. So this is our main reason for visiting this Commander Ashtar ship today. This is where starseeds come who are experiencing a tough time on Earth. And they need their energy bodies clearing. in this clearing chamber, as well as receiving this beautiful clearing, you're going to get a sense and a remembrance in your energetic field. You will also get an activation, which is going to open you up to larger parts of your energy body. Remember, you're on this journey right now, because this is where you need to be. And whenever you're connecting in with this meditation, it's the right time for you. Time is malleable. So ahead of you now, you see this clearing chamber. And it appears as a glass cylinder about 6 foot in circumference. And the door opens and you walk into this glass cylinder. You just stand there in the middle and the door closes. This clearing chamber is going to work on your 4 emotional bodies. Those being your physical and mental body, which is your masculine side, and your emotional and spiritual body, which is your feminine side. And you see in these 4 emotional bodies now as 4 different rings around your body. You can see them. Have a look at them. How are they feeling? We're first of all going to look at your physical body. So this is your skin, everything under the skin, the brain, the organs, skeletal system, your fascia, your blood, your veins, your ligaments. Your physical body should be vibrating at 25% when it's at full capacity. Have a look at the chart in front of you. Where is it vibrating for you today? And just take a mental note of that number while the clearing gets underway. Looking down at your feet now, you can see that there's a disc that you're standing on, and it turns a colour blue. And this disc starts moving up through your feet, through your body, moving up, 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 clearing your physical body as it's going through, up to your shoulders, your neck, through your head, and it just stops above your head and then begins to make its way down again, clearing that physical body until it lands again at your feet and stops. And the clearing of your physical body has taken place. And you now feel open, flexible, healthful. Your vitamin and mineral elements are all balanced. Any pain that you had feels less, or it's completely gone. You feel free of toxicity and acidity. And looking again at the chart in front of you, where is your physical body now vibrating at? It's higher than it was before, if not at the full 25%. It's now time for your emotional body to be cleared. Your emotional body extends a few inches around your physical body. This is your nervous system. This is your hormones, your touch, how much water you hold in your body. And it should be vibrating at 25%, but when you look at the chart, where is it vibrating at today? And just make a mental note of that as the clearing of your emotional body takes place. So looking down at your feet, you see the disc. Turn the colour pink. And the disc starts to now move up from your feet, making its way up through your body, legs, upper half of your body, neck, all the way to above your head. And then it comes back down through the head, neck, upper body, lower body, back down to the floor. And the clearing of your emotional body has now taken place. You now feel empathetic, open, honest, less judgmental, generous with help. You want to give without expecting. Your cortisol, insulin, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone is more balanced. Your blood sugar is more regulated. Your heartbeat is even. Your blood pressure is balanced. And looking at the chart in front of you, where does your emotional body now vibrate at? It should be higher, if not at the full 25%. And now it's time to clear your mental body. This is your thoughts, your attitudes, your judgments, your prejudices. And this is about a foot in diameter out from your physical body. And looking at the chart in front of you now, where does your mental body vibrate at on the chart? And just making a note of that. And looking down at the floor, at this disc, it turns the colour green. And it starts to move upwards from your feet, through your legs, your upper body, neck, head, above the head. And then it starts to make its way back down through the head, the neck, the upper body, the lower body, back down to the floor. and your mental body is now cleared. You now have proactive problem solving, concise communication. Innovations come to you with clarity and ease. You have an ability to solve emotional and physical issues in a direct and supportive way. And looking at the chart in front of you now, where is your mental body now vibrating at? It should be higher, if not at the full 25%. And finally now, clearing your spiritual body. This is your connection to all things. God, the universe, the divine, the higher self. Your spiritual body provides protection, union, help and guidance. It connects us to all that is. And where is it vibrating now on the chart in front of you? Make a note of that number. And looking down at your feet at the disc, you see the disc turn a gold colour. And it starts to move upwards through your feet, through your legs, through your upper half, up to your neck, through your head, until it gets above your head. And then it makes its way back down, through the head, the neck, upper body, lower body, through the feet and back down to the floor. And your spiritual body is now cleared. And you are calm, fearless, operating without limits. You have fortitude. You acknowledge that there's a higher force guiding and protecting you. And looking at the chart in front of you, where is your spiritual body now calibrating at? You notice it's higher than before, if not at the full 25%. All four of your emotional bodies have now been cleared. You are now balanced in your masculine and feminine sides. Feeling lighter, brighter, you step out of the clearing chamber. You thank the crew of the Commander Ashtar ship. You feel your Merkaba start to rotate again. The door to the ship opens and you float on out in your Merkaba back into the vast silence of space. making your way past the great central sun. And then feeling yourself coming down, down, down through the atmosphere, further down, back onto planet Earth, back into your human body, back into the room, starting to wiggle fingers and toes, coming back now, and finally fluttering your eyes open. Okay. Even I feel like I've done that meditation now. I'm struggling to come back. I hope everybody's all right.
Yeah, I feel really floaty after that. I thought I was going to open my eyes and I would be facing a different direction in the room.
Wow, my head's gone all funny and everything.
Around.
Let me turn the volume back up. Woo, yeah. Lots of energy going around there. Hope you've all managed to come back. If you haven't, don't worry, have a good night's sleep. Wow, that was pretty powerful. As I said, you're going to get a link direct to the meditation on YouTube. So if you ever feel like your body's need clearing again, you can. We'll just go back to the PowerPoint so we can tell you about this crystal set that Sharon's put together about our next webinar, and a great offer with the crystal set as well. Present. Yes. Ta-da. So,
Yeah.
Sharon, take it away.
So I have put these 5 crystals together, the ones that we've discussed, to help us solve these starseed problems. So we've got the Tektite, Fuchsite, Shungite Merkaba, the Quartz Super 7, and the Rainbow Kyanite. So I put them together as a bundle. So these were all cleansed, thoroughly cleansed. I used sunlight, sacred smoke, selenite, and placed them on Mother Earth as well, just to just cleanse their energies. They were out in the full moon, the last full moon, which was the 18th of March, which was actually the last full moon of this zodiac year. And they've all been infused with Reiki healing as well, so they can just really bring about a really deep healing and connection with the crystals in yourself to, like on all levels, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. The Fuchsite, I have to say, is only available in the first 5 bundles. I created the bundle without it first, and I just felt like it just needed something from the heart. So I've added this, but it's only available in the first 5 bundles. I am going to have a look into another powerful green crystal that I can add once I don't have any more of those. So the price for the whole, for all set of 5, is £44. You can purchase directly via email or DM me on Instagram. And I'm keeping that price just for 2 days. So over the weekend, Monday evening, I'm going to put the crystals up on my Etsy, and then there will be £55. So just to take into account my Etsy charges and the actual value of the crystals as well. But I just wanted to give them for a really good deal to begin with. I do only have a limited number of sets available, so first come, first serve. But Rebekah has an amazing offer where you can actually get the crystals for free. So I'll let her explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's tied in to booking an Akashic reading with me. Those of you that don't know what the Akashic reading's about, I'll just tell you about that and then how you can take advantage of getting the crystal set for free. So I'm an Akashic Readings practitioner, and now that you've learned a bit more about starseeds and that you might be one, the Akashic Readings are really good to help you uncover your cosmic origins. So where have you been in the universe? What star constellations, which planets, which star race do you resonate with? And I actually channel a cosmic life or two for you, so I can go into the Akashic Readings and give you that information. But the Akashic Readings are actually a lot more than that. So it takes me 2 hours to go in and get all the information. I put that all into a document for you, and then we have a one-to-one session that's an hour and a half long, where I give you all of the information, and afterward you get the recording and the document. So as well as looking at your cosmic lives, we look at your past lives on Earth too. So how many lives have you had on Earth? Where did you incarnate to? And then in the beginning part of the reading, we look at any blocks you might have, and you get clearing statements as homework. We look at which archangel realm you decided to train in when you came to Earth. We look at your psychic gifts and abilities. We look at your spirit animal. It's an amazing reading with a lot of information. So the offer that we've decided to put together is, if you book an Akashic reading with me, the full bang one, which is of a cost of $199 because of the amount of work that goes into it, you will receive the Starseed crystal set for free. It's an amazing offer, so I'm only keeping it open until the end of April. And as I said, Sharon's got a limited amount of sets. So if you want to take advantage of it, the way to do it is to book the reading in by going to my website and going to services and booking your full bang Akashic record in, paying for it. Once payment has been received for that, I will then be getting Sharon to post out your crystals. Now, one thing that we've not talked about is that cost that Sharon talked about is for UK only. So if you're having the crystals delivered to anywhere else outside the UK, which we can do, the postage is going to be more. But just email Sharon and she'll let you know how much the postage is, just to bear that in mind. So yes, fantastic offer. Book a full bang Akashic reading. You get that Starseed crystal set that you just saw for free.
And that reading, I've had one of those readings from Rebekah, and it really is amazing. I actually found out I had a past life where I was on the Titanic.
Oh yes, of course,
that was epic. And before those words even came out of your mouth, I remember you said to me you were on a voyage.
Yeah.
And straight away I just heard the Titanic and I pictured the Titanic before you'd even told me.
Yeah, and the information I managed to give you, you managed to work out who it was.
Yeah, I've got a picture
from the passenger list. Yeah, and you got an image of what the woman looked like, and it was a really sad story, wasn't it? Because the only reason she drowned was because she didn't get on they wouldn't let her dog come on the lifeboat, so she chose to stay on the Titanic and drown with the dog. Oh my God.
I know. And she was a first class passenger, so all the first class passengers, women and children, got off. And so that was
tragic.
That was why she didn't. So it's been actually really, it's taught me a lot. It's been really interesting to know that.
Yeah, so if you want to take advantage of that, please do. Any questions, email either of us. Now, we have decided to do a webinar every month going forward because we love them so much. We love working together. I can pick a topic and Sharon can decide which crystals go best with that topic. So our next one's on Saturday, the 23rd of April at the same time. And we're calling it the Midas Touch because we're going to help you to become better manifestors. And we're going to be creating a crystal grid for manifesting. So Sharon's going to show you how to do a crystal grid and which crystals are best for manifesting. Those that come on live to the webinar, I will dowse your manifesting number for you. And I'll explain what that is on the webinar. So make sure you try and come on live. Now, because of the effort that we put into these, the PDF, the meditation, I've also recorded separately and had my brother edit it. And then just our energy that we put into doing these live. The next webinars will have a charge to them for the ticket. It's just going to be £15.15. I will be putting the ability to buy the ticket on my website, libralight.net, in the next 2 days. It's not up there yet, so you should be able to get your ticket for that in the next 2 days. As I said, we'll be doing them monthly. So if you can't make that one, just come on to the May one and we'll be picking, you know, topics that are topical to starseeds. May even ask on my Instagram what you want us to cover. So yes, that's exciting news. It's going to be monthly that you can join Sharon and I. So all that remains for us to say, and that is excellent time, and it's 8:26, is thank you so much for joining us on our first webinar. Really hope you enjoyed it. When you get the email with the recording on, feel free to send this out to any friends you feel like benefit from the topic that we've talked about tonight around problems that starseeds have and how they can be solved. And if you think the meditation is going to be good for them, feel free to forward it onto them. We want to help as many people as possible. So all that remains to say is goodbye and thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, any feedback is welcome. So if you've got any suggestions or anything we can change or do better, it's our first one. So yeah, we're open.
Yeah, we welcome it. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I'm just looking at the chat. Sorry. Brenda's saying that was amazing. Great. Glad you enjoyed it, Brenda. And Tinks is saying thank you. Well, thank you for joining us and for adding to the collective energy that we all felt during that meditation, I'm sure. All right. Speak to you soon, guys. Goodbye.
Bye.